Why, hello there. How you all doing? Welcome to Midweek Point and Click. We have a new game on the agenda today. We have the Book of Unwritten Tales 2, a Verdantry pick. He has been waiting patiently until we got to this one. We're finally here. We did beat Chinatown Detective Agency last week, which was excellent.
Did you that thing at the end of the last stream? Did you do that on purpose? Like, did you rig the wheel or do something like that?
Yes, it was a joke. Welcome in, Steve. We've got Steve in the house.
I mean, because like the stream before, you promised that we wouldn't use the wheel and we'd just do this just as a favour to Verdantry, and then you completely forgot, and then me and Verdantry were trying to remind you, and then you spun the wheel and it came up anyway, like karma.
No.
Not karma, like fate.
So this funny guy over here made it so the wheel only had that option.
Okay, so it was on purpose.
Yeah.
She also no-sold it afterwards, so I thought it was fate.
Absolutely. How you doing, Steve? How was your week?
Not bad. Pretty standard. Been trying to think, but yeah, not much has happened.
Nice. All right, well, hopefully we can relax into a nice video game on a Saturday morning. We've got Psycho in the house as well, and we've got Daily Bean. Beansy, how you doing? Welcome in. It has been a while. It has been a while. Does anyone have her previously on? Yeah, we'll let Steve do that in a second. The number one question I have for you guys is, how loud is this game? Because in my head, it is blaring. I've turned it down a little bit. If I need to turn it down further, I can. How about you, Steve? I've got it up in Discord. Is the volume okay?
I think you're all tabbed out because it's got stream paused.
Oh, okay. I'll turn it down even more. There we go. That should even be better. It's loud, you're beautiful. Lanky, love that lank. How you doing? Welcome in. I'm so glad that you're enjoying Devil's Plan. Alright, I'll go back to the game so then you can at least see. How about that, Steve? What's the volume like on that bad boy?
Yeah, sort of moderate. Like, not too loud, not too quiet, I think.
Beauty. That sounds like the Goldilocks routine.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But it's still blowing out your ears?
No, not anymore. I turned it down. So.
Okay.
So yeah, what do you think of your avatar this time? It fits?
Oh yeah, little old creature.
Yep. You got a little looking around and yeah. Thought it was kind of cute. All right. Well, Steve, previously on Book of Unwritten Tales, what happened?
I try to identify that thing to the right of the book. Are those like drug injectors from like a sci-fi? Like a nuke type?
They look like it, don't they? Or an ice pick from... Maybe this is the sequel to Basic Instinct.
Yeah, first short ice pick, but yeah, it could be an ice pick. So was it remembering what happened last time on the Unwritten Tales 1?
Exactly. What was the main plot, would you say?
I have no prep for this, but I remember bits and pieces. I remember the combination being there's like a throne room with demons, and we're sneaking around the sides, trying to do the thing that would beat them. There was a MacGuffin. I don't know. I think they called it a MacGuffin.
Sounds like this kind of game would do, yeah.
Yeah, or maybe we just started calling it. That the goblins had.
Goblin these nuts.
We're trying to take them over because at the start of the game we were on a dragon and the dragon got shut down and we got scattered with the
cargo.
with the MacGuffin. And there was a Welsh hobbit and
Yes.
an elf that we got to see all of her skin except a few square inches of her naughty parts.
I think she was dressed in a leaf or something, wasn't she? That's what her outfit looked like. It just looked
it's like a Marco bikini, I remember. And then the dashing Han Solo type.
Yeah,
I thought I remember bits because I remember just like it was mostly us getting to the thing. It wasn't like the storyline was just traveling, solving puzzles in a specific area to get to the next area, or to get to like the warlock, the university where the warlock worked that knew what the MacGuffin was or gave us information on what we need to do.
Yeah,
I think that's where our three characters joined, mostly.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I do remember we had a whole bunch of trials to do, like different scenarios of trials. Like one was to become a wizard. We had to do that. You're a
Oh,
wizard,
yeah.
Harry. And then there was also the trials to get our friend back. Wilbur, not Wilbur. Wilbur's our main character. He's the gnome. I believe Nate the Cutter was he was kidnapped or something, and we had to defeat a swordsman in a battle or something like that.
Yeah, and it was like we had to get had to get armor before we were let through. We had to get like a potion so he'd be able to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember, and it's maybe because something I usually wouldn't like, but I guess this one the puzzles were decent enough that it wasn't too bad. But there was the quest of a quest of a quest sort of stuff. Like you have to get these 3 things, but then the armor is like you got to get the headpiece and the chest piece and like legs, and then the formula for the potion you have to get this root and this snail and blah blah blah. Like there was that like list of stuff to do, but then each item would have a list of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That can be very disorienting.
Because there was one. Do you remember where it said we had to go into the land of the dead to take something? But I think he did it pretty quickly. Like, we thought it was going to be this huge quest, but I think he just stepped into the mirror of the land of the dead, grabbed something, and came back, or something along those lines.
Yeah. Which that may have been a cut feature as they ran out of budget.
Ventry, you heard me. It's Nate the Cutter, all right? Nate the Great. Welcome in, Keith Squared. Good to see you. We've got all of the lovely, fine folks in here. I'm super excited. So I guess, I mean, it's pretty wishy-washy. This was about 8 games ago, to be fair. So maybe we should just jump in and see where it is. You reminding me that the gnome was Welsh has got me excited because the Welsh accent is lovely.
And the kind of thing reminded me of something. So I remember I talked about that baseballer that like got blackmail on all the judges because it was to do with detective stuff, and this is what a private detective, the kind of work they do. But he got blackmail on all the referees so that he could get basically more runs, more walks. Like they would get, I think when he was he a pitcher? I forget, but yeah. The decision they make whether something's a ball or a strike, he got favoritism for that. Mm-hmm. That guy had 2 kids, and his 2 kids were named Luke and Cutter.
Okay. What an
then,
American name.
So the podcast I was listening to, they were sort of laughing at that. One of them was going, this is one of my boys, Luke, and this is my weird boy, Cutter. And
the weird boy. Love it. Speaking of Luke's, I got to tell the chat something uncanny that happened to me last night, and I think you might know where this is going. But
yeah,
Lisa and I decided to watch a horror movie, and one of the ones that I'd seen advertised around the place was called Late Night with the Devil, which is the idea of if you've ever seen Ghost Watch before, you may have an inkling of what this movie's about. But they basically bring this possessed girl on stage, kind of like a Letterman or a Johnny Carson or something like that, and all shit breaks loose. Anyway, sitting there watching the movie, and it's set in a studio the entire time, a movie studio. And I'm like, holy crap, that man in the audience looks exactly like my uncle. And then Lisa's like, what, really? And I'm like, yeah, it looks so much like him. And then I took a photo of it and I sent it to him. And then Steve and my uncle, he's a jovial fellow, loves to make jokes. But he said, oh yeah, that's my the best acting of my life. I'm going to get an Oscar for that. And I thought he was just joking. And then he showed up in another scene of the movie. So I took a photo and I sent it to him as well. And I'm like, this guy looks so much like him. And he goes, oh yeah. And that girl sitting next to me, she talks about her dead brother, real spooky. And that sort of just blew my mind because somehow he knew the plot of this movie without, I thought he was joking. And yeah, it was legit him. He was an extra in this random horror movie. Didn't tell me. I just watched it randomly and there he was. So it was cool. Might be worth seeing, Steve, just for Pete.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let me have a sip of this water and we'll get cracking. Alrighty, here goes. New game.
War had raged through all Avantasia. The alliance of humans, elves, and dwarves fought against the evil army.
Yeah, it might be a bit quiet for me.
Yep, cranking it.
War had devastated the country for years upon years, and yet no one gained the advantage. And so it was that in that time of deepest despair, that an old archaeologist uncovered the location of an artifact of divine fate.
The mix is out, so I'm going to turn the music down later.
And thus decide the war, for one side or the other. Led by Warlock Munkus, son of Archwitch Mortroga, the Shadows hunted for the
Oh, I
artifact.
remember that guy.
And they would have reached it first, were it not for a group of heroes who stood against them. Wilbur, the young gnome who was the
There you go,
first of his
Steve.
kind to become a mage. Ivo, the courageous elven princess from the Woodland Realm. And the Critter, a hairy creature from the Northlands. Companion.
I
of
don't
the
actually
most
remember
brilliant
Critter
of
at
the
all.
heroes. Nate
I remember a
Barnes,
bit
who was
now. They
supposed to
mention
spend
it,
the
but it's
rest
not
of
really
his
character.
life at the side of an elven princess, who deserved a kingdom and all the riches in the world, who should stop wasting time talking about himself in the third person.
That's right. That's the kind of game we're into.
Ah!
All right. I guess we're in it. Oh, I can swim. The old cartoon swimming in midair. Love it.
Good, good. This is good. Although the ground is still getting closer.
Yeah, I'll change it
Yeah.
as soon as I get the... Actually, maybe I can do it now.
Maybe the music is loud.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're going to try this. And then I'll crank the volume a bit. All right, this should do it. Actually, needs to be just a skosh louder. Oh, that's right. Yep. We'll do these at 100. I don't know why they would ever set them at lower than that. You need a baseline, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This reminds me of that Bennett Foddy game. Whoop, shit. You said something about part of the explosion.
If I'm lucky, this will go all the way up to the island. But somehow I really doubt it will.
It is Tears of the Kingdom. This is Link's brother, Lonk.
This is not correct physics.
It's so silly. Oh.
Oh, hi, Nate. How's it going?
Good. For now. Could it be that your spell didn't quite work out the way you planned?
I did tell you there were certain risks involved.
High risk?
Risks? What risks?
Now, Djinn magic is a complicated affair. It's difficult to get the dose right, and when one hasn't done magic for a while, things can go a little bit wrong.
Like you killing me, for example?
Not intentionally.
I didn't get trigger happy. So the thing is, moving through the dialogue is the same click as actually moving in the game. So I was actually moving and he randomly threw up a dialogue option and it skipped through it. So I've got to be careful of that, I guess. Oh well, no big thing, no harm done.
No big thing. So, now that we have a little time to kill, why don't you tell me a little something about yourself?
Oh, right. Well, yes, I came into this world in an oasis in the Umzu Desert, and at that time, I was...
Are you out of your ever-loving mind? Definitely not the time to reminisce.
Then why did you ask?
I could use some help here, Benny.
Well, you did see what happened last time I cast a spell.
Time to make up for it then. Now shake a leg.
Oh, I don't know. I might just end up making everything worse.
Let me see. I'm accompanying tons of boulders in a plummet to certain painful death. My death. So just how do you think you could make things any worse?
Worse? I could set the air on fire, or it could start smelling very bad.
Can't you just stop time? Or wings! Give me wings! How about that?
Oh, this is all terribly complicated. I really don't feel up to it today, Nate.
He's dobby as fuck, right?
Perhaps tomorrow? I really do need to
Yes, it
think
could
through
be.
what's
Haven't seen
happened
that
today
footage in ages.
properly.
You get me out of the mess you got us into right now!
Please don't yell at me. I just can't take it anymore.
Benny!
Uh-oh.
Ah! The state he's in, we can forget about miracles. I gotta find something easy, something even he thinks he can do.
Ooh. Is that a magic carpet? I can show you the
Yes, it's
world.
going to become one. Use the gin bottle against with it.
I'm going to quickly check to see if there is a controls option. There is not. I wonder if there's a highlight. Like a highlight key binding. Oh, here we go.
A flying carpet. Is that too much to ask?
I'm not talking to you.
Why you... I'm sorry I criticized your work, Benny.
And?
And that I shook your lamp. And everything else. You meant well.
Well, all right then. I forgive you. What can I do for you?
Carpet!
A flying carpet. Shouldn't be too hard. Should I really dare? Am I really up to it?
Oh.
Yes! What the heck? What happened here?
What is this?
No!
Stop the drop achievement. Oh, that's right. Wilbur lived in these little burrows. That's Wally. Or Johnny Five.
Welcome, adventurer. I am the tutorial,
That
guardian
droid
of
from Jedi
gameplay,
Fallen Order.
explainer of controls. To move a character, just click anywhere in the scene, wherever your heart desires. Well done. If you left-click an object, then your character will perform an action determined by the context. Now click on that big lever.
Lever.
We can't see the I should
The
know
robot
that's
has
stream.
used the lever, as this seemed logical to him. Now click
That's
the
weird.
lever with your right mouse button so that the robot looks at it rather than uses it.
What'd you say, Steve?
It's working on stream, but I can't see the mouse cursor.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No.
which doesn't matter as long as it's on stream so people can see.
I can see it in the OBS preview.
Yeah, just not on Discord.
Yeah, but... Oh, yeah, it is very small. Yeah, yeah. Michael had said the same thing, that's all. All right.
Excellent. The robot thinks the lever is working. But if that's so, then where is the problem? That hatch over there, left-click it.
I don't think I've ever played a point-and-click game that has a tutorial.
The little chap seems to think there are advanced engine mechanics hidden behind there. Perhaps that's where the problem is. Click on the hatch again using the left mouse button.
I'm trying to think, I guess not.
First left click will allow you to look, the second to use. Why? Because after a player character has looked at something, the most logical thing to do next is use it.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite simple. Right-click when you want to look at something, left-click in order to do whatever that character thinks is the next most sensible move. Is the machine working again? Left-click on the lever.
Yay. It's like the Game of Thrones intro.
It appears to be a new problem. Better take a closer look at the engine.
I was gonna say it's like one of those you see a movie and you see a stage play and there's like the fake waves in the background when they're doing like a sea
Oops,
voyage.
that wasn't very helpful.
Sure.
Please pick up both gear cogs. Great work. Items you pick up will go into your inventory. To open and close your inventory, left-click the rucksack. To use an inventory item, left-click it, and then left-click the object that you want it to be used with. Use one of the gears in your inventory with the engine of the town model. Excellent. Now the second gear. Perfect. You'd better oil the engine before you switch the machine back on again.
Bit of loop.
That should do it. Time to crank it up.
All right. Let's leave this bad boy. This was Vinny's game of the year at the time, right? Rodent Tree?
You can examine objects in the inventory in more detail. Pick up the damaged figure and the toolbox. Then when you are in the inventory, right-click the toolbox in order to examine it.
That's a good sound. Oh, okay. So we can
Great.
open stuff.
You found a few items in the toolbox. You can use these items on each other by initially left-clicking the first object, and then, when you have this item on the cursor, you left-click the second object. Try to repair the figure in the inventory.
Boo-boo.
Well done. Now place the figure back in its rightful place on the balcony of the castle and start the machine.
Okay.
Excellent. You are now ready. Now, one last tip before I do it. If you press the spacebar, all interesting objects in the scene will be displayed. Good luck with your adventures in the Book of Unwritten Tales 2.
That's what we want. Master Mechanic achievement unlocked.
I'm worried about you.
Oh, Mother.
What's wrong with you?
Everything's fine.
Wolfie's fine, honey.
No, you don't look well at all. Positively
I
rotund.
barely recognize her. She's got clothes on.
It is unseemly for an elf princess to cope with her frustrations by comfort eating. If you carry on like this, you won't fit into your wedding dress.
I don't have any intentions of marrying anytime soon.
Oh, darling, we've been through that already. Prince Lalilos is going to be arriving next week.
Lalilos.
You will like him. He's charming and... Look, he sent us a picture of himself and his sister.
Which of the two is the sister?
Heyo.
The elf nobility, unfortunately, has not got any unshaven Neanderthals to offer. You'll just have to get used to that.
I don't have the slightest interest in that person. Not anymore.
You are at the heart of the Elf Kingdom, in the castle of your family where you belong. No one here should be sad, tired, or fat. I only want what's best for you, Ivo.
You drawn a picture of Hobbit?
Yeah, it's Will was there and also Critter
Oh, thanks for behind it.
or Cutter, as we.
Cutter.
Oh, that's right, Cheap.
I don't
Did you
remember
see
Chip
that?
at all.
She's locked me in. Yes, only what's best for me. She always says that.
I love Cheap. He was great. He was funny as.
Have you seen this prince? A vain river elf who's only interested in topping up his tan. I'm to spend hundreds of years in the company of someone I don't love? Huh, not me. And how? She will try anything and everything. Nothing's more important to her than getting me married off. Ugh.
I think Cheap acted as comic relief, but also highlighting items in the last game. I think there was one where we
I
accidentally
remember-
blew him up or something.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I do remember the bit where there was like a pool of water and we were stuck for ages, but Chip could do some stuff.
That sounds about right, yeah.
I'm just grabbing it really badly, but there's nothing distinctive to say. But I just remember, rocky area with this bit was stuck up, but yeah, we could have him interact with the world a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When I was out there with the humans, it was the first time that I had the feeling I could determine my own destiny. Yes, it was dangerous. Doesn't that go with the territory? A life without risk, that is so... Oh, you don't understand. If I could, I would go right now. You want to stop me? Just like last time. I didn't want to tell Mother, but I've not been feeling too well lately, Cheap. I'd say the same thing, but we elves hardly ever get ill. Yeah, you've got a point there. I spent almost a year in the human world, and they have some very strange ideas about personal hygiene. Well, I thought perhaps it's a curse. Oh, no, you won't. I'll take care of it myself. Mother would make a state occasion out of it. I don't know either, but I'm sure there's a medical book down in the library.
Okay, that's our first quest.
No,
She pregnant?
rest is not what I need just now. I'll go down to the library and look up what's wrong with me, completely alone, just like a grown-up elf. I'm not going to be stopped, neither by locked doors nor by you.
All right, let's see. Try this highlight feature. Oh yeah, that works.
A guard with a spear and shield, and like all elven figures, immaculate.
Is Cheap knocking on the mirror? I think he is.
Yeah, I think he's done that bird thing. They take the reflection.
There's a friendly bird down the road, and yesterday I went and got an English muffin that had gone a little bit stale, and I went to go feed it, and it went right up to my foot and pecked my shoe. I thought it was so cute.
Elven craftsmen have centuries to perfect their artistic skills. Only when everything is always perfect, then isn't everything always the same and somehow unimportant?
Fair call.
An envoy from the Far East gave me this musical box years ago. Wherever I go, I always have its tune in my head. The music box closes automatically as soon as the melody finishes.
Well, let's give it a hear. Okay, so it looks like...
I've been sleeping badly of late, and sometimes I feel tired all day long. I've never been ill, but something isn't right. I hope I'll find the answer in the library.
Yeah. It was a lucky dip for you there, Verdantry.
When Nate and the others lived here, Nate often made intimations that were to do with the bed. I don't know why, but I know Mother wasn't happy about it. She moved him to a guarded guest room at the other end of the castle. And Cheep Cheep was ordered never to leave my side.
What's the bird going to do to stop any hanky-panky happening?
I had my birthday during the few weeks that we spent living together here in the Elf Burrow. That was a big deal for Wilbur. He couldn't understand that the significance of birthdays tends to fade after a few hundred years. He insisted on making me a present. He sat in the corner for days knitting me this hat with his little gnarled fingers. Wilbur didn't know that autumn would last for years to come and that elves don't feel the cold, but it was still the best birthday present I've ever had. Mother looked at the hat with so much revulsion that I didn't take it off for days. Wilbur just beamed with pride.
Sounds like Mother is a bit of a stickler.
Mm.
I do like that after I've interacted with something, the thing goes away. That's great.
Pretty good reflection.
The times when the others were here in the Elf Burrow, those were the best that I've ever had. The critter could never keep still when I was drawing him. He was always pulling faces and trying to make me laugh.
The critter's basically Beaker from the Muppets, right? That's the way I
Yeah, it
see it.
seems to be.
Wilbur was so excited. He loves elves and our stories. He spent hours sitting with my father and listening to him talk about bygone ages. Complete idiot.
Look at the jug.
Fresh water from the spring brook, the little stream that rises here in the castle and provides for the whole valley. People come from far and wide to drink it. No, I'm not thirsty. A beautiful red flower. It was only put here a few days ago. Sometimes Mother orders a new plant that looks nice in my room. And then it's replaced and planted in the garden. A delicate, sweet scent. It reminds me of a wood over in the west where I learnt to use a bow and arrow.
Is that a mortar or a pestle? It's a mortar, right? I think the pestle's the stick.
I thought the mortar was, but I'm not sure.
A delicate, sweet...
Just because the mortar is the thing that does the pounding.
Normally this bowl is full of fruit and nuts. Presumably Mother has decided I should be without such things whilst I am, as she says, positively rotund.
Mother's got a thing about weight, doesn't she?
I think it's the
Normally this bowl is full of fruit and nuts.
Oops.
Presumably...
the stereotype of the woman's mother.
Normally
Proper
this
woman's
bowl...
mother.
Okay. Let's have a look at our little jewellery box.
My jewellery box serves as a podium for the vertically challenged narcissist. Could you please move aside? I want to get into my jewellery box. He doesn't listen to me anymore since I almost caused him to be roasted by fireballs, decapitated by swords and eaten by monsters.
Sounds about right.
Mother has permitted him to disregard any of my orders that go against her wishes. His interpretation of this can be liberal.
MVP lease.
Cheep Cheep likes to look at his reflection. He strikes a pose and then tries to impress himself with it, and succeeds most of the time. Hey, Cheep
Yeah,
Cheep,
you're right.
I
The
need
mortar
the
is the
mirror.
bowl. So I know why the artillery piece is called a mortar.
I only
then.
need it for a minute.
Hmm.
Oh, he's not budging. and his pecs can be damn painful when he puts his mind to it.
Okay, so we'll have to get there in a second. Probably something outside. Oh, we can. What is there's? Take the mirror.
Hey, Cheep Cheep, I need the mirror. I only need it for a minute. Oh, he's not budging, and his pecs can be damn painful.
Okay, let's go outside. Sunflowers, lovely.
We have many exotic plants here in the palace, but sunflowers are my favourite. Apologies, I need a few of your seeds.
Oh, Cheep Cheep will like that.
I used to look into the woods for days on end, imagining what the world beyond would be like. Now I know, and I think I miss it.
Alright, if I am an adventure gamerist, I think that we put them in the bowl.
Cheep Cheep, would it be possible for you to stop
that?
admiring yourself for 2 seconds and move over to stuffing your beak instead?
Yes.
Don't say I never look after you.
Stretching the adventure game muscles.
Pearls, precious stones, sparkling earrings and necklaces. All the stuff I have to wear at official functions. If it were up to Mother, I would have trunkfuls of this stuff, and a wing of the castle would be my wardrobe. She just can't understand why Pa and I aren't into this sort of thing.
Do you ever call your dad Pa before, Steve?
Oh, no, never. That's a regional thing, isn't it?
I guess so. Oh, you've got no mirror. What are you gonna do now? Unless... What if we have to trap Cheep Cheep in the music box? So if I do this... Ah, done in the
Hey,
wrong order, I think. Oh, no.
Withdrawal symptoms?
That should start it,
Yeah,
maybe?
because then you have the box. And he falls through.
I just need the music box a minute.
Did it in the
You
wrong
don't
order.
need to turn your head away from your beautiful reflection for 1 second. Come on.
Oh, no. All good. Poor Cheep Cheep. Got him!
Shh.
Oh, the darkness.
He's gone to sleep. It got dark and he's simply... No matter. I can now enjoy a few moments of peace.
Yeah. Will that allow us to leave the room? We never really saw if Cheep Cheep was going to prevent us from leaving the room either.
Yeah. Because I actually didn't know why
Mother's
you were
got
going
me
to trap
here
him,
because
but
it was too hunted.
except for that line about him being
Since I
assigned to you.
secretly escaped from the elf burrow last year, she's taken to guarding me closer than ever before.
Okay.
The door's locked and can only be opened from the other side.
We have to do
I'll have to find another way down to the library.
some hijinks then. Maybe outside.
Can I rappel down from the balcony?
Mm-hmm. See if we can take some more seeds for good measure.
I'm going to have to take a few more of your seeds, but I promise this is the last time.
Okay. Oh, there's...
It's an exit, yeah.
Would have missed that.
Let's go.
Oh, a little bit of basic instinct.
Oh, Steve.
As expected, no one here. My parents are in the throne room ruling the lands. Or rather, Mother is.
The bright colours reminds me of Trine a bit.
There's only a little water left in the bird bath. Cheap Cheap always says that it evaporates quickly. I, however, think that the constant need to replenish the water is more down to his unbridled joyous splashing and not insignificant body mass.
One of my greatest pleasures is seeing the birds outside in the bird bath splashing around. It's so good.
There's only a little water left in the bird bath. Aye.
Oh, what's that? Is that a mantra? What are they called? It says bonsai, but it looks like a little dude.
A fairly small, unattractive tree.
Huh. I'd like to see how attractive you'd look if someone disturbed you on the pot in the morning.
You mean...
Anyway, what can I do for you, my little beauty?
He's dropping a deuce.
The garden always looks fantastic, Arbor.
Thank you. It's a girt load of work. People always think elf gardens are fabulous by their very nature. But you need a mighty good gardener.
You have got green fingers.
Ah, that's just moss, my dear. Happens if you spend all day grubbing around in the earth and don't wash your hands properly in the evenings.
You tree shepherds do a great job.
Tree shepherds? The trees just stand there. What do they need a shepherd? However, I quite fancy one of those shepherd dogs. Hey, Rex, do you want to be my shepherd dog? Nah, my darling. I'm a gardener. Nothing more, nothing less.
Mother put me on a diet this morning so that I'll look perfect for my wedding.
Oh, everything has to be perfect for her. No such thing in nature, of course. Or rather, everything is perfect if you just let nature run its course.
You tell that to Mother.
I have, many times. She'd be very clever in some things, but very daft concerning that.
Now then, she is the queen.
I'm old enough to be able to call a spade a spade. Spade, gardener. Get it?
Break the fourth wall.
What are you up to today then? Got much on?
Oh, the usual. You know, it never rains in the Elfborough, but the flowers need their water, so I water them every day.
Ah, the curse of good weather.
The weather isn't the only thing which isn't right. I've been here 30 years, and for 30 years we've had autumn.
Time passes differently in the Elfborough. Slower.
Well, that's why everyone grows to be ancient here, obviously. But if we had a bit of normal weather and the usual seasons, there'd be a lot more variety here.
You and Father, you get along well, don't you?
Ah, no one understands more about nature than him, that's for sure. But I don't often ask him for help. Thinking has never got a field dug, if you get my drift.
He's just more of a theorist.
Ah, the mud on your feet, the smell of fresh earth, all that joy and life. And he's missing out on the lot by just sitting around up there and doing nubbit.
I have to get on.
Yep, got a bit to do myself. I just don't know what's wrong with that plant over there.
Oh. Looks like we're going to have to do a bit of Burke's backyard.
Your mother got a whole heap of flowers given to her the other day from a fairy delegation. All of them took good and strong, just not that one.
Perhaps it needs a special type of soil or something.
Well, anything's possible. If I don't think of something soon, I'll have to ask your father. He can have a little chat with her and she might tell him what's up.
If you're going in, it'd be nice if you didn't tell my mother that you saw me out here.
Oh, you playing hooky again? My
You play
lips
some
are
stick
sealed.
ball.
Okay.
Good old hooky.
I was dressed like a hooky last time.
I don't know the names of all the plants in the garden. Grandmother knows them all, which is probably down to the fact that it was her that gave many of the plants their names a few thousand years ago. Shite beerwood, sweat tea, dodder flower, fat hen, bistort, stink root. We no longer invite her to family gatherings.
Shite Beerwood is a good name.
This is Mother's mirror. It's said that you can see into the furthest corners of the land and know what's happening in every part of the world. At the moment, it's no more than a shallow bowl. The water's missing.
Okay, I need that. What about the beehive?
Mother thought it was unseemly of the bees to build their hive in our garden. I don't think she could get used to the thought that she would no longer be the only queen here. I convinced Mother not to have the hive removed, and she reluctantly agreed. However, should she be stung, then the hive's days are numbered.
I wish we had bumblebees in Australia. They're so cute.
A lovely spot, so long as the bees who have built their hive directly above the bench don't disturb you.
Oh, okay, so we've got a gear icon now.
I don't have any time to rest, and that's good. At last I've got something to do again. It doesn't look very well at all. It's unusual for flowers to hang their heads in this garden. Normally they blossom in our good earth, not to mention the power of Arbor's green fingers.
What stingy insects do we have? We've got normal bees, as in non-bumble kind. They're sort of got hard carapaces rather than fluffy. We have wasps, all sorts of wasps. We've got the European wasps, which you guys call yellow jackets. What other stingy? Obviously mosquitoes. Although that's not really a sting, is it? It's more of a suck.
Yeah, like a bite. Not in our region, but there's specific regions have march flies.
Oh, they're bastards. They're so
Yeah, they are
awful.
complete bastards.
Which I think America might call them horse flies. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Not sure, probably mostly introduced.
We're gonna get this
A
rock.
handy smooth stone, Arbor's sheepdog.
We've stolen his sheepdog.
Arbor's pot, literally.
Oh.
There are reeds and water lilies growing in the pond. Naturally, they were planted there. They don't grow in the wild so high up the mountains. I can't think of any use for a water lily, but a reed could come in handy.
Reeds are usually used in games like a snorkel, maybe.
Yeah.
Have you seen the viral videos, Steve, of people eating these things as if they're like a corn dog, and they bite into it and it sort of explodes with fluff and they choke?
No, I haven't seen that. Is that something where they think it's going to be like that and they're horrified, or is it someone who like eats them or has gotten used to eating them?
It's more like they're horrified.
Yeah.
The spring brook emerges up there. It's still small here, but it becomes one of the largest and most important rivers in the woodland realm.
Okay. Happy Willow.
That's a weeping willow. It appears to be so content it looks anything but sad.
Oh yeah, because they normally hang down, but this one's hanging up. It's cool.
The willow is stretching its branches up high into the sky with glee. One part of the waterfall's already lying in its shadow. If it continues to grow like that, it'll shade half the garden.
Okay. Probably don't want to go through the door.
That leads up to the throne room. Mother will be conducting the affairs of state with an iron will, whilst Pa leans against the tree of life, probably sleeping.
I've seen I guess it's the Asian paper wasp, sting a huntsman spider and then drag it along the fence back to its burrow. Because I think they lay eggs inside a spider and the larvae eat it from the inside out. Oh, hello. Hey, it's the dude. The
Celebrity.
Sully.
Oh, like from Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, because I thought, it's like, fuck, your memory's good, because I
This
can't
flower
remember that
truly
thing
is one
from
of the more
number
exotic
one.
of the palace's flowers. It comes from a country in the deep south beyond the deserts. It's said that the flower of this plant used to be sent as a declaration of war, or if one wanted to deprive someone of all sense.
Have you, Steve, heard of... My boss introduced me to this just this week. I think they're called fugglers. Does that ring a bell?
The name doesn't ring a bell.
Maybe do a quick Google. Fugglers. Safe search can be on.
I mean, is this something to do with the term fugly? Like, because that's what the it's what the Americans call Cody Ugly, but it's the Rodney Root joke. Fugly.
Oh, there's a Buster sword there. Cloud's sword. Wow. Okay, let's take it.
Swords of all the idiots who have tried to conquer the elf burrow. It's
Well.
become less frequent over the last few centuries. Humans and dwarves appear to have learnt their lesson.
I
That
say...
does look like an elf.
What looks like an elf?
That does look like an elf. Just needs ears. Otherwise, he's got that same look.
I incorrectly said this is Cloud's sword. It's actually Zach's sword, but actually it's Angeal's sword. There you go, for all the nerds out there.
That's his after it was passed down, though.
Is that a companion cube?
Buster Sword is his proper name, though.
Yeah.
There's a selection of cubes here. For a while, it was all the rage at official state visits to give geometric presents.
Can we steal the companion cube? Nope. It says look at the dice. Oh,
Also, only really has that sword at the start of the game and during cutscenes. Otherwise, it does the RPG thing where it could have any sword.
Yeah, because it's weak as piss, that's why.
Yeah.
But in Crisis Core, it's a little bit different, right? Because Zach starts off with a different sword and he gets the Buster Sword. And it becomes kind of like the deal.
A present from one of the northern kingdoms. Strange folk up there. The men climb mountains and shout foul-mouthed things in dragon's language at the dragons.
Ah,
I think it's some kind of test of courage.
Skyrim. Okay. Oh,
Well,
you got your
we got a
friend.
promotion.
Look at the book.
The Biggest Plant Book of Avantasia by Charles Mendel with illustrations by Alexander Bonpland.
They changed the
A
UI because
standard
I've struggled
reference book
to.
that Arbor always used to consult every now and then. However, he insists that he now knows it off by heart.
I found it.
Yeah, I think you just click on the person's name and then you get the choices or something.
Oh, it's got to be the 3 dot.
Goldsmithing, masonry, and a book about carpentry. Like all books in this library, it's a guest present. The logic behind this must be, those elves, they have so many beautiful statues and items of wood. They'll be really interested in this. Why don't we present them with a book about it? What they don't realise, though, is that if we're interested in a subject, then we'll already know pretty much all there is to know about the matter, and the book's of no use to us whatsoever.
I think if you just ban that person, it automatically deletes it.
Yeah, I've just got to do the report first and then the banning.
Okay. Man, there's so many different references. Of course there are. This game's all about references, but we've got obviously a Rubik's Cube, but we've got the dragon eggs, I assume from Game of Thrones.
A great example of the variety of our world's fauna. Some of the ideas Mother Nature has can be quite off the wall. A few years ago, this dragon was causing a whole lot of grief. A bounty was put on its head, and all heroes of the land were encouraged to hunt it down. 40 brave warriors penetrated its lair and slew it. They brought the head to the palace where it was displayed in triumph. The strange thing was that a bit later more adventurers came carrying an identical head. Then more and more heroes arrived.
Isn't that it was the mama dragon, right? That didn't really want to breathe fire, and we had to convince it to breathe fire to be able to melt something to make a tool or something like that.
Maybe was that a reference to like an MMO? Because you mentioned someone brought its head and then a bunch of other adventurers kept bringing its head.
Yeah.
Is that a reference to like some sort of respawning enemy that?
I reckon so.
What have we got here then? Aha.
That's a big tome.
Ah, Almanac of Elf Medicine. That's what I've been looking for.
Of course, it had to be in the bookshelf that was sort of just off camera.
Ow!
Oh,
Be careful, if you please.
sorry.
A speaking book?
An ill elf?
Ill elf. So I look ill. What's wrong with me?
Take it easy, young one thing at a time.
Young one. I'm older than you.
And you look it too.
Oof.
I do?
No, of course not, and I can also see no illness. But the mere fact that I've been fished out from the back of the shelf for the first time in centuries tells me that something is wrong.
This reminds me of in Fallout, the TV show, the salamander, all the fingers inside its mouth. A bit like that. The roof, that is.
I haven't been
Oh, the
feeling
roof.
too
I was
well
gonna say what-
recently. I'm sleeping badly and have no appetite. I know that elves are very seldom ill, but if it's not that, then it must be some kind of magic or curse.
Seldom ill does not actually mean never ill. Elves can, for instance, suffer from a broken heart.
Oh, please.
It is one of the most common causes of death amongst beautiful princesses.
Oh, it must be something else.
Sensitive elves can sometimes suffer from the pains of the world. There are a variety of ear infections, and of course it could also be lupus.
What is
But
lupus?
I think it is something else.
Like what?
To be completely
I know,
certain,
I've heard of
you
it a
must
bunch of
mix
times.
a potion and drink it.
Are you serious?
Very.
I think there used to be...
So this that occurs when your body's immune system attacks your own tissues and organs.
Right.
Inflammation caused by lupus.
Because I remember there used to be
Um,
ads on TV about lupus. Like back in the early 90s.
Hmm.
That's where I first heard about it. Alright. What goes into the potion?
All right, this potion. What goes in it?
It is very easy to make. You need to pound together the green fruit of a metis bush, a spoonful of honey and a red herring, and then mix with water into a viscous potion.
A red herring.
Oh, that sounds revolting.
It's medicine. It isn't supposed to taste nice.
And if I drink it, I'll be well again?
We will then at least know what is wrong.
Except for artificial cherry, right, Steve? Tastes delicious.
Artificial cherry, yeah. Gross. So they don't use it as prevalently as they used to, because I know, like, recently I had to get cough medicine, and one tasted good, the other one tasted bad, but neither of them used artificial cherry, that horrible, cloying artificial cherry flavor.
For me, it was always black currant was the flavored medicines. I never really had an artificial cherry one. I reckon if I did, I'd guzzle the stuff.
But you get
Are
immune,
you
but you get
actually
addicted to
qualified
it.
to make a
Like,
diagnosis?
Yeah.
And why can you talk?
some people do.
I am a magical medicine book. That actually serves as an answer to both of your questions.
I've never encountered a talking book before.
Of course not. I am the only talking book here. That's the problem. In the magical library in Seastone, all books can talk. Things really get cooking there, believe me.
You were probably given to us by someone from Seastone, right?
Right. I was a complete idiot and actually volunteered. As I am a book about elf medicine, I didn't get much to do in Seastone. I thought to myself, hey, this is your chance to get some practical experience. Wrong.
Yeah, we elves don't get ill much.
And more than that, you don't actually have much time for books. This is the center of the elven kingdom, and just look at how paltry this library is.
We don't have much use for books. We sing songs about times past, and many of us were there at the time.
Then that's probably also the reason why so many elves stand around in white.
What do you mean?
What do you
Allow
mean?
me to elucidate. Over the years, the songs you elves sing will be changed and adapted, a little here, a little there. This editorial process is nothing more than refined elvish propaganda,
What do you
presenting them as
mean?
intelligent
Thank
and
you.
morally impeccable. And who can prove otherwise? There are no other witnesses and there are no books.
So, Steve, you reckon she's up the duff?
Actually, Jake, well, not. Considering the type of story I'm assuming it's going to be she's sad and she thinks she's sick because she's sad. I'm sort of, well, it was half a joke because it is the setup that most stories would make for, like, you're just so used to the trope of like, I'm feeling sick, and then the surprise later she's up the duff. But I don't think she would be in this story.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like it's going down that path. And she hasn't mentioned throwing up in the morning. That's usually the sign in a story of their like little subtle hint that immediately tells you someone's pregnant.
And I don't believe I don't remember. Did she have relations with Nate the Cutter in the first game? I don't even remember. She seems to think he's an idiot, but that could be the Leia Han Solo.
Yeah, I think that's the dynamic I think they're going for. Like it's not like they're hooked up in one, but there's been a stretch of time between 1 and 2, and she did say they're all at this place.
Yeah.
At the Elven Forest recently.
What if Will was the father? That would be a cool chain of
I was going to joke about that too. Like, I was going to joke about her not knowing who the father is because both Nate and Wilbur were there.
And then you find out that it's
Suggesting
Critter.
suggesting she slept with them both.
I demand to know this instant what sort of illness I have.
Sometimes it's better not to know.
I can take it.
A placebo only works when one doesn't know that it is a placebo. Make the potion and then come back and drink it. Then we'll be sure.
Okay.
I think it's like, sadness or depression. Because that's the thing, or like sadness, because that's the thing of like, I was tired all day and have trouble sleeping and stuff. I think she misses her friends.
Yeah.
And if it's lupus?
Have you been bitten by a wolf of late?
No.
Then it can't be lupus. No, I'm pretty sure it's something else. Now, that potion, drink it, and then I can tell you more.
Drink it? I haven't even made it yet.
This metis bush, where can I find one?
Haven't a clue. I'm just a book and have spent years
Across
sandwiched
the
between dusty
fish
hymnals
shepherd.
and a tome of revolting recipes.
I hope it's not like the shepherd's poo or something.
A red herring. Are you serious?
Of course, why not? Red herrings are known all over the land as particularly useful fish. Their uses in the areas of medicine, cuisine, and literature are too numerous to mention.
All right, so I've got a red herring.
Okay.
So I think probably don't get the full placebo effect, but I think even if you know it's a placebo, if you're like under pain or some sort of other uncomfortable thing, just doing something makes you feel better. Even if you know it's probably not helping.
Thank you. I think that's all for now.
Normally, it's me that ends patient consultations. You are only a princess, but I am a doctor.
He's a doctor? Wonder what he wrote his PhD in. Oh, okay, you can take a book. Sweet. Oof.
Working with wood. There's a master whittler down in the valley. I've enjoyed watching him in the past. He carves animal figures so real that humans and dwarfs believe that they are actually animals turned into wood. This one's more about interiors, making furniture and the like. Plane the wood down by a pixie's thumb and saw the board into 2 equal length pieces. Who knows what that might be good for?
I bet she's good at working the wood.
Okay. Were you being a filth bag then?
Absolutely not.
Alright, let's see. What do we have here? We click on the... Oh, that's just the menu. We don't have a little,
Quest list.
Since Nate left without saying so much as a word, Mother seized the opportunity to marry me off to a proper elf prince. So far, I've managed to frighten off every candidate successfully, but she's starting to lose her patience.
I reckon we're going to
Nice.
use the shepherd rock as the pestle.
Which is like the main character of Brave.
Never seen Brave. That's the redhead archer lady.
Yeah.
I don't really know much about reeds or pipes, but if I'm not mistaken, then those things are called pipe cleaners.
Okay.
A book about woodcrafts, sanding, cutting, hammering, all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
The reed
Like
from the
the-
garden pond. It's like a hollow pipe. Well, pipes are normally hollow.
That's true.
There's
A handy smooth
yeah,
dog.
Brave.
Arbor's sheepdog.
Turns into a like standard Disney movie one stage, but I really like the start of it. There's one scene where she shows her shooting the arrow at a competition in slow motion. It's a standard split arrow, Robin Hood type split arrow scene, but yeah, that shot is absolutely fantastic because it has details you wouldn't think they'd animate. Like, even though it's a perfect shot, when she releases it, you see this wiggle in the bow, like a real arrow would do when it's being released.
Gotcha.
Like this physics-like wobble, and it's like really, really cool.
Why do so many people hate this flower? Perhaps it has an abhorrent smell.
Vuvuzela? Beep, beep, beep.
So I reckon that's what it sounds going to be. Oh no, just standard
Now
trumpet.
that explains why this flower is classified as a weapon in 24 countries.
Horn of Gondor. Oh,
But not nowhere near as obnoxious as a Vuvuzela. As I've been playing Raft recently,
It's
we've gone
said
to
that
a
ruler,
spot
unfortunately,
where we can buy these, like, I bought a Viking horn, and not knowing it would have any sound to it, but because you place it, but after you place it, you can press E on it, and it plays this loud trumpeting sound.
oh yeah.
It's like, oh, that's kind of cool, and you could possibly, I don't know how far it carries, but you could possibly use it to signal people to return to the raft and stuff, even though we're on chat, so it doesn't, no use for that, but occasionally you can click it. And then I got the, it was an air horn, and it's like, oh, this is going to be obnoxious as fuck, it's going to be really cool. Didn't tell anyone when I bought it, brought it on the ship, and then I clicked it, and it was the most disappointing thing. It was like it was nowhere near as obnoxious as you think when you hear air horn. And it's very low and subdued.
That's like when we were playing Lethal Company, that air horn in a can thing. Where
Oh yeah, that was what I was expecting, because that
Yeah.
one was good. That was a proper air horn sound, wasn't it?
yeah, it's real good because if people don't know you've got it, you can walk up behind them and it's go "Brant" and scare the shit out of
Yeah.
them. All right, let's see what other swords we've got. Oh, it's He-Man's sword. Okay.
I wouldn't have recognized that.
Oh, it's got that unique Minecraft sword.
Minecraft.
Is that Sting? Is that what that's meant to be?
I don't know, it's very small. It's hard to see. Oh, it's like a little saber, is it?
I'll spin it around again.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I assume it's...
And it's non-distinct too.
it's said that a ruler in the north wanted to build himself a throne out of all the swords of conquered enemies. Unfortunately, he died after only conquering one enemy when he refused to heed all the warnings and sat on the throne.
All right, maybe there's different ones for each.
That maybe it's supposed to be ice. I thought ice had a black blade from the book.
I don't know.
It's said that a ruler in the...
Okay,
Unfortunately,
so it's the same one. Damn, I was hoping we'd get a little...
So that was a
each
Game
cube
of
is
Thrones
significant
text.
and comes from a different country, but I never really paid much attention.
Oh, so yeah, there was a Rubik's Cube before. I can't recognize the others. With the lament configuration? No.
Oh, that could be the lament configuration, or it's a Borg cube. Maybe it's a Borg cube.
Oh, I recognize it. It's the Portal Cube.
This one here is Portal. Yep.
Oh,
Look-
yeah.
Oh, you can't see the cursor.
One in the middle.
Um,
Yeah, I
the,
can't see it. So I was looking at the distant one.
the one on the left, I'm not sure what it is. Can we take this?
Helmets with horns. Cool, but useless.
I
Oh,
can't think
sweet.
what it could be. It's
So-
familiar, but I can't think what it is. What's that?
I figured that when you do both clicks, left click and right click, that's where it sort of disappears after the fact. So it tells you that you've done everything, which is excellent.
Okay.
Perhaps I can help Arbor solve the problem with that flower. Let's take a look.
Okay. Oh, that's the Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. This is the one here.
This plant reminds me of the one that Arbor's having problems with at the moment. Love Lily. The love lily enters into an enduring relationship with another plant very early in its life,
Ooh.
which frequently lasts its lifetime. If the partner plant dies, then the love lily does not normally survive the separation.
Oh, that's why it's drooping, because it's sad. Just like her.
This looks like. Do you remember that movie Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Definitely. It felt familiar, but I ignored it. But yeah, I reckon it's supposed to be a Killer Tomatoes reference.
Yeah. Let's have a listen to all of them.
Giant beans, also known as magic beans, are very rare. They are
Okay,
the fastest
checking
growing
the
plant
beanstalk.
variety known. Because of the beans'
Yeah.
high costs, they are almost exclusively used by the military, for instance, in storming high-walled castles.
That's pretty good, actually. The references in these, like this game and the first one, it's great.
I don't remember many in the first one. This one, I don't normally like references, but this one's like, I just lost the word. Like all over the place enough, diverse enough that I'm okay with it. Like it's not just like, oh, this is a male mid-40s guy to video games, so that's what all the references are. It's like they're kind of all over the place, like the fairy tale one there, mixed with Portal Cube, and like they're kind of diverse enough.
Yep.
Killer tomatoes are the most devious of the meat-eating plants. Disguised as tomatoes, they hunt on allotments for defenseless humans.
You've seen the I guess you would have technically seen if you've seen the movie. Or know about the helicopter crash on Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Oh, I haven't seen that movie since the 80s, so I wouldn't have a clue. I just remember
I
them
haven't either.
splattering onto a windscreen of a car. That's the only memory I've got.
Okay. Because it came up on, I haven't seen it in ages, but it came up on Corridor Crew. But there's a bit where there's like cops behind some police cars with guns. Like they've made a cordon, and this helicopter's supposed to land. It's a light helicopter supposed to land behind them, carrying, I guess, some of the main characters. And it crashes, and they use the footage of it crashing, and they just cut to the characters lying on the ground and going, "Oh, that was a close one." And then nearby, there's some splattered tomatoes, so they make out. And there's words like, "Oh, they jumped on a windscreen or something," even though they're behind the cordon. It doesn't make sense in the story, but it's basically because the helicopter legitimately crashed, and they still wanted to use the footage.
Wow. I'm guessing the person survived the crash? The pilot?
Yeah, it was like you could tell it was like it wasn't like a full like thing busted. It was like a rough landing that broke the helicopter, like very rough landing, but it wasn't like oh shit, that person's dead.
Gotcha.
Mandrake should only be cultivated by experienced
But it's one of those things
gardeners.
where when it's
Cry of
isolated,
the baby mandrake can kill anyone within 20 meters instantaneously.
A Harry Potter reference.
yeah, I'd say. But it's one of those things where I don't know if you noticed in the film, but when they showed the clip in isolation, you can tell. And I was thinking maybe there's a way they can do that, but even the guys on the couch were like, "Wait, they crashed that helicopter for real? There's no way they could have done that."
The tree of wrath bears fruit several times a year. These grapes of wrath are bad-tempered beasts that can lay whole areas to rack and ruin.
I'm guessing that's the Crash Bandicoot one, Michael? What's this one?
Steel magnolias look like normal magnolias, but are some of the toughest plants on Earth. They can be softened using tragic women's stories and subsequently may be picked. The wood of intelligent apple trees is often used for the equally intelligent and beautifully shaped living accessories of all types. For a long time, botanists thought that it may be possible to find other intelligent fruit varieties. So far, the search has proved fruitless.
Which is the Crash Bandicoot one then? Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep.
Guard plants, Vigilia audriensis, belong to the oldest
Audriensis.
domesticated plants of humankind. They have been especially valued in times of famine as they do not require as much food as, for instance, dogs. They can sometimes develop an unhealthy taste for blood. Baritones.
Because I'm pretty sure the plant was called Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors as well.
Mhm.
Man, Rick Moranis. I wish he was still an actor.
Yeah. There's apparently a movie, because he usually plays a goofy person, but there's apparently a movie where he plays a villainous person.
Oh.
A bad guy, and it's supposed to be really interesting. I've seen clips of it, but not the whole thing.
Okay, that's that click. I'm just getting the clicks sorted. That was right click. What does left click do? Same thing? Alright, that's just a reference. Let's look at this bookshelf.
Several books about animals, an atlas, a book about humans. Actually, more of a brochure. And what's this? Fishing
I remember
for the
that being a bit
moderately
frightening.
talented.
Ooh, that's our red herring, I think.
Perhaps there are a few practical hints and tips in the fishing book. A lucrative season with a successful technique doesn't just depend on the type and quality of your tackle, but also on a really good spot. It doesn't matter whether you jig, dip, toddle or feed. Wobblers, twisters, spinners, blinkers, poppers, jigs, jerks and live bait must be presented in the most enticing ways possible. I haven't the faintest idea what all that means. I presume my fishing talents are not quite advanced enough to enable me to use this book.
Okay. Steve Martin's dentist. Oh yeah, I remember that. It's like a real small cutaway, right? He's not a main character or anything. I think it's just one scene from memory.
No, I think it's a bit more.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's been a
But then,
long
yeah,
time.
he's a sadistic dentist.
In general, I don't like horror that is combined with comedy or musicals. For instance, the Rocky Horror Show is fucking awful. I hate it so much. And
I think you've got the mindset of it being a horror, though. Rocky Horror isn't a horror. It's not trying to be. It's a musical, comedy musical, but it's a love letter to B-grade movies and B-grade horror,
yeah, well, that's the thing.
as opposed to trying to be both.
I just like them separate. That's all.
Sometimes it's difficult to believe that some creatures in our world have developed naturally. They look as if some bored artist has dreamt them up.
One thing though, when was the last time, Steve, you saw Rocky Horror Show? Or are you familiar enough with it that you know the characters?
Yeah, because I've seen it dozens of times. Probably a couple of years ago, though. Probably haven't seen it in a while.
So, Meatloaf's character, the biker dude,
Eddie.
isn't he like exactly Jack Black's character from Brutal Legend? Like, they're identical, I reckon. And his name is Eddie as well, I believe.
Yeah, it could be a reference. Although, like, Jack Black's character was a roadie as opposed to Eddie is like just a bad youth. Like, he's played by Meatloaf, but he's not a musician per se. I know he plays the guitar, but he's not like a professional musician or roadie or anything. He's just a delinquent.
Go to the bedroom. Oh, can we unlock the door now?
And the little redhead, whose name was Little Nell.
The door can be opened easily.
She was
from the
Australian?
outside. If it was up to me, it would stay open.
And she has two nip slips,
Jesus.
two separate nip slips in the movie. And I was listening to commentary track and it goes, there was one how she feels about, and she goes, no, and the girl that plays
Yes,
the maid
quite a useful pestle.
goes, no, they were on
First, I need all the
purpose.
contents
She was
in
an
a bowl.
exhibitionist and she made every attempt to flash on camera. So the two that got through are the ones that I guess I didn't notice.
Wow.
Because one's very subtle. I never knew it was there until someone pointed it out. Because she's it's the scene where she's got she's in pajamas with Mickey's ears on, and her pajamas has slashes and cuts all the way through,
I really shouldn't.
but they're not over her nipple.
It's only
But at one stage, she almost like Picard does with his uniform constantly. She pulls down the front of her top,
She'd be delighted.
front of her pajamas, and it causes one of the cuts to move so that her nipple shows for like 1 second, and it goes back again. So it's a very, very subtle. But she did that on purpose, which suggests to me that she made sure the cut was there on purpose.
I love that Steve
Yeah.
is telling us about professional nip slips in movies.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we can use the vuvu. No, that wouldn't work. I was thinking maybe we could do this. It would have a hole in it. Oh, how else are we going to get the water? Let's talk to old mate. There he is. Oh, maybe there's something in the hole.
Hi, Arbor.
Oh, Ivo!
I think I know the name of your patient. It's a love lily.
You don't look particularly loved up.
That's exactly the problem. Love lilies enter into a lifelong partnership with another plant. And if they're separated...
Then they let their heads droop. Good theory. But the fairies know their plants. They'd never have given us a love lily without its partner.
Look, I found this book in the library.
Woodcrafts? Why are you showing me that?
I thought it might interest you.
I don't like horror stories.
Horror stories?
Wood that has been clamped into a revolving monstrosity to be whittled down layer by layer to the core? What do you call that then?
Sorry, never looked at it like that.
Branches sawed off, boards nailed together, wood treated with chemicals. Oh, sick stuff.
If I were ill and needed to make some medicine, then you'd help me with that, wouldn't you?
Ill? You're an elf. Elves don't get ill.
But if I were...
Oh, come on. Now tell me. How can I help you?
Do we have a metis bush?
Do we have a metis bush in the garden here?
That bush over yonder.
But that fruit's red.
And what colour do you expect then?
Green. Are they only green when they're not ripe?
Nah, they're blue then. They're green when the bush senses danger.
What?
Pardon?
The metis bush has exceptionally delicious sweet fruit. But if it thinks it's in danger, then they go green and very sour. Call it a defense mechanism.
Ah, and the bush only has red fruit because it has nothing to be afraid of here.
We're going to have to scare a bush.
That's right.
Do you know how I could get my hands on some honey?
Try the kitchens.
I prefer
there's a
not to
beehive right
wander
there.
through the castle.
Of course. Someone would tell your mother.
Would that beehive in the tree over there be of any help?
Oh, I'd be careful with that. The bees defend their honey and can give you a nasty sting.
Couldn't they be distracted or tricked in some way?
Beekeepers wear protective clothes and use smoke that calms the bees. But I don't have any beekeeper kit here. I just let the bees keep their honey and they pollinate my flowers. That's how we've always done it.
I often see you fishing. Could you lend me your rod?
Of course, if you bring it back in one piece.
Nice.
What's up?
I was convinced that I would have to make my own fishing rod or that you'd ask me to collect a variety of mystical items in exchange for it.
Why? It's only a rod.
That's great.
Thanks.
Not everything needs to be complicated, you know.
Okay, so that's the metis bush.
There's something else. See you later, Arbor.
See ya.
Could we use the fishing rod to get the honey or something like that? I doubt it. Got some worms. Alright, let's check this arbor bush.
This is a metis bush.
Metis
Just
bush,
what
sorry.
I need.
Here's arbor.
Only its fruit is red, not green.
Oh, okay. So what if we scare the bush with the vuvuzela? Yeah.
If the...
Oh shit.
Thanks.
I kind of wish that the conversation dialogue was like right click or something, not the same action
Yeah.
as doing things. Okay.
The
Or if
bees
there's
are
a
buzzing
double
around
click,
the hive
that's the way
quite
you usually
merrily.
solve that.
Anyone messing with them will know about it fast. I convinced Mother not to have them. However,
I'm gonna try this. I mean, this is just a silly idea, but okay, can't. That's good. Maybe we fish in here. It's the only water we've got.
I don't have a clue about fishing, but I'll try my luck. Just as I expected, nothing. On the other hand,
Oh, worms, of course.
somehow I have the feeling that I now know what I'm doing. The worms provide a great lure and should increase my fishing success rate, whatever that is. I always hang
Oh,
one onto the hook before I cast the line out.
remember in the first one where we didn't know anything about blacksmithing and we had to like build up our blacksmithing level by making like 1,000 cups or something?
Yeah, remember that.
That was good.
It was like a reference to grinding in an RPG.
I guess that I can just practice until I'm good enough.
Fishing skill 1. Oh, okay. So we level up our fishing skill and then go read the book.
Or I could try to speed things up by learning more about fishing elsewhere.
Okay, we know that. Let's try that. Yeah. Go level up. That's very
No,
good.
I need a bit more practical experience in fishing before the book will help me.
Okay, so we got to get a couple of levels higher.
Yeah. Or we have to find another source to fish from. Or if that was a hint.
The
Well,
worms
we-
provide a great lure and should increase my fishing success rate, whatever that is.
Maybe
I
we just
always
got to
hang
use our
one onto
worms
the
up.
hook before I cast the line out.
Oh, okay. That's just standard.
Yeah.
Let's see if we still level up. Oh,
A classic.
those are handlebars of a bicycle. It did level up though. I'm thinking we get to level 10. Oop.
A classic.
Alright, level 4.
As suspected, there are red herrings swimming in the pond. They are really saltwater fish that live in the sea. But they always come back to their homeland to breed. They're the only known fish variety that can scale nearly vertical cliffs.
Is a red herring a real fish or is it only a gag? I don't even know.
I think it is, because it would have started as this.
Nothing.
Red herring is a dried smoked herring, so it's like a normal herring that's been...
Oh, got one.
At last. Now I can tick the red herring off my list.
So we didn't even need to read the book. Let's see if we can still level
I've
up.
got what I need, but this is so much fun. And perhaps I'll have a bit of luck catching other interesting things in the pond.
Oh no, she's still doing it. Okay.
Pity.
Still leveled up though. We'll get to level 10 and try reading the book. Oh, yep. Oh,
There appears to be an amazing collect. I wonder if there's anything there that could prove useful.
more bicycle handlebars.
A classic.
If it was the Yarrow, it would be probably trolleys and electric scooters.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. Red herring is a type of kipper or herring made that's dried, smoked, and salted such that it turns red, and smoked in such a way that it turns red.
A classic.
A boot. Alright, we're level 10. Let's try reading the book now.
Now, for Murray, everything would just be carp.
Yeah.
Disgusting bottom-feeding carp that you can't eat.
Perhaps I have enough knowledge to now understand the book. Right. Aha, oh, twice in a row, then, that was educational.
Yes! Now I wonder if we go to the pond, whether we'll catch something useful.
I've heard one way to eat carp is to take it home and put it in a bathtub of clean water for like a week. You know, for it to clean itself out, and then you can cook it and then eat it.
Yeah.
A classic.
I'll try 4 more times and then we'll move on. What's that?
A classic.
I don't know if that was a classic. Oh no.
A classic.
I haven't found any other place we can fish. There's no water. Oh, later on maybe. I'll just get to level 25.
Because there's a reference to it trying somewhere else to expand our knowledge. So that's the thing we haven't done.
Yeah, can you remember seeing any water other than this?
I can't think of. Otherwise, I would have said. And once they just try fishing somewhere else, but unless you can fish over the balcony, I think there should be water.
A classic.
All right, we're level 25 now anyway, so that's fine. I mean, if there was water in here, we could, but we don't really have.
There's a thing pouring water at the bottom.
Yeah.
Is there a prompt for going over the side?
Nah, nothing down there yet. I do have. I think we've got the fruit that we can use in the mortar and pestle now, I believe. I think that's what we need to mush up. It's kind of weird that we don't have a quest log.
Except the one we had in the quest log, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Fruit in the bowl. Mushy mushy.
Oh, that fruit smells really
Oh, there's
sour.
water in here as well.
Thanks for the sacrifice, little fish.
Yeah, fish is in there.
Water's the easiest ingredient to find. We have copious amounts of it here.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if we fish in here? Oh,
That should do it. The medicine book reckoned that it should be a viscous potion.
nice. We got the posh. We don't have a... Oh, no.
I've nearly done it.
Nearly done it.
Just missing the spoonful of honey now.
Ah,
Then all that needs doing is to crush and blend everything together.
okay. Can we take this?
No more water in the jug, but I don't need it right now.
Damn, I was wondering if we could fill up the thing downstairs.
No more water in the jug.
So I'm
I don't
assuming
need
that's so
it
she
right
can see that her friends are in trouble and that
Maybe.
makes her more want to leave.
Yeah. Did we get anything out of the jewelry box? I don't remember.
I think she just talked about her mother-in-law. No mother.
These earrings here, they're sparkling and glinting in the sunshine. They
Okay.
could actually come in handy.
Nice.
Distract the bees.
Maybe. I think Michael wants to try using the fishing rod down here. But yeah, there's no prompt.
But did we get the fish? Because you put something in the potion.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah.
No fish in here.
Oh, wouldn't it be funny if you put the water into the... I guess that's like a pensive, right? And then you fish in the pensive to retrieve something. Alright. Oh no, that's the... Maybe it's here. No.
Mother pours water from various jugs into this bowl to cast a spell over the mirror. She did this almost daily in times gone by to ask the mirror who was the fairest elf in all the lands. Ever since the mirror started to hesitate with the answer a few months ago, she hasn't been using it quite so much. Hi, Arbor.
Oh, Ivo!
About the potion,
Art.
there's something else.
No.
See you later, Arbor.
See ya!
Alright,
So we can
earring.
use the diamonds with the nearby flower.
Which flower? This one? Give
I
it...
don't know, whatever one's
Make it pretty.
intractable.
No, it doesn't look like it. We need a teaspoon of honey, it said. Cut reed. Can we combine these with anything?
The reed from the garden pond. It's like a hollow pipe. Well, pipes are normally hollow.
Maybe we can... Oh, that's right. I remember this, like the previous game had it. It'll only show things that you can use items with in the environment. So, for instance, we can highlight these items, but then if we select, say, the worms, nothing highlights because we can't use it.
Earrings that sparkle and glint, beloved by women and fish.
That's a lure.
That looks promising.
Oh, yeah.
A classic. Nothing.
Unless... Oh, man, that's... Keeps unselecting the rod for some reason. Maybe on the 30th
A
one,
classic.
it'll do something. It's weird. Do you think that maybe the red herring was supposed to be caught with the... No, that doesn't make sense.
Maybe that's for fishing later, and you've just done it early.
Classic.
Don't
Yeah.
think you need early.
Alright. Number 30. Yep, okay.
A classic.
How else? Maybe we'll look at the plant again. I don't think we can talk to the plant.
I have to find the Love Lily's companion. The fairies would have known that it wouldn't have been able to survive without its partner. I have to find
Same thing.
the bees are buzzing around the hive quite merrily. Anyone messing with them will know about it fast.
cut bee's nest with a reed.
Isn't there a turn of phrase like stirring up a bee's nest? I think the saying's trying to give us a warning. As long as the bees are wide awake and buzzing, I don't dare.
Okay, so we've got to smoke them out.
Or distract them. I think the hint was distracting them. But then if you can't make the... I guess if you get a companion for that other plant, because she said we need to, but I can't think of what progression reason would be other than once it's with its pair, it'll attract the bees.
Yeah, you could be definitely right there, for sure. Oh, hang on. What if the red flower upstairs is its
Oh,
companion?
is its mate? Yeah.
Let's try that.
This flower was given to us by the fairies, just like the love lily down in the garden. I
Eureka.
bet they belong together.
Ah. There we go. It's got good logic. I like that. It's not so obtuse. I found your boyfriend.
Look, do you know this flower?
Ha ha! You did well, girl.
It would appear so.
You snivelling, girl. You all right?
No. Yes? I don't know.
Well then, I think I've earned myself a little rest now.
Oh, yeah? What have you done? Oh, the shovel is like a spoon, maybe. Oh, he's smoking. Okay.
That's Arbor's little spade. He always leaves his stuff all over the garden, which of course drives Mother mad.
It said this one, yeah.
The smoke from Arbor's pipe seems to be calming the bees. This is my chance.
It is kind of weird I'm using a reed for it, though.
Hey now, you all right there?
We can just suck it.
Sorry, had to do it.
Well, I'm not happy about this destruction of nature. Not unless I get half of that there honey.
I don't need any more. The rest is for you.
Oh, that be good stuff. But that's enough. The bees need a bit too.
Yes. All right.
Isn't that just lovely? Two plants that have found each other and want to spend the rest of their lives together.
Okay. So, we should be able to go upstairs and make the posh.
About 1 spoon of honey.
All right. Mushy mushy.
I'm pretty sure that there's never been anything so utterly revolting concocted in the Elf Burrow ever. Oh, I hope this is some kind of joke. I don't know much, but I do know that I'm not going to drink this potion until I've had another chat to the medicine book about it.
Okay.
I need to know which disease this potion's meant to be good for. Looks as if it's been pre-digested several times.
Okay.
Hi.
Well, what's up?
The potion's ready, but you don't seriously expect me to drink it, do you?
It's a suppository.
You must.
Oh, there he is.
Cheap, I'm so... Yes, I know, but...
Don't you drink that?
This, medicine. Well, I did tell you that I wasn't feeling well, and the medicine book here thinks it could be something serious.
She has to drink it, the sour metis fruit, sweet honey and salty fish. That should give us an answer.
Don't shit in it. Alright, he goes nothing.
Oh, it looks revolting.
It is medicine. It's not supposed to taste nice. That's right. Down to the last drop.
Is this a malicious book?
Not as bad as I was expecting.
Maybe it's gonna poison
In
us.
actual fact, it's quite tasty. I could definitely drink another glass of that.
Yuck.
I wonder if it's going to be like a.
Congratulations, Ivo. You
I should go on a psychedelic trip.
Surprise! You were
I was
preggers.
right.
Oh, the bird fainted. Oh, who's she been? Gallivanting.
No,
Right outside the
that is
NATO and
completely
Bilbao.
impossible.
The bird's still dead.
You must be wrong. Surely it's a misdiagnosis.
You are an elf and say that potion is quite tasty. I could definitely drink another glass of that. That's raging hormones talking.
I don't have any hormones. Cheap, no.
Mama's gonna
No,
have
the
a
book
fit.
has made a mistake.
Maybe Cheap's the father.
I cannot be pregnant. I've never stood in the divine water with Nate on Midsummer's Night singing the Song of Life. Why? How do humans do it? They do what?
Elves and humans can have children together, but it's not possible without sex.
You see? We never had sex. At least not to my knowledge.
But the diagnosis is crystal clear.
Oh, jeez. Where's this going?
Let's just pretend that I am pregnant. There must be some explanation, rational or otherwise.
If we discount the possibility that the child was conceived by natural means, which would certainly appear to be the case here, then that leaves us with just the unconventional conception methods. Did you, perhaps, make some kind of pact with a goblin regarding the child? Child in exchange for gold or a kingdom, for example?
No.
Has a god in the guise of a bull appeared to you in your dreams? Any angels been having a word with you?
No.
Have any stars fallen from the heavens recently?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Then that just leaves magic, or a curse. But unfortunately, that is not my area of expertise.
I wish it was so cheap, but my feeling is that the book is right. I am pregnant. One thing's certain. Mother must never find out about this. I don't know either. Do you think that my tummy will start to show? Oh,
Oh, that's why there was the mention of her gaining weight and not fitting into dresses.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure how, and I'm not sure why, but it would appear that I'm pregnant. And as all other possibilities have been eliminated, then it must be a curse that's responsible. That is fantastic!
Is it?
No, of course I didn't mean it like that, but just think. Me, cursed. That sounds like an adventure.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Totally obvious what we need to do now. We ask Archmage Alistair. He's the wisest magician in the realm of man, and he's a friend. He'll be able to tell us what it means. Oh, no, you don't. You remember who was meant to be looking after me so that nothing happens to me, don't you? Alistair's sure to have the answers. We'll have to track him down in the Mage Tower in Seastone. Only, how are we going to get there? Seastone is days away from here. Oh yeah, saying fly is all well and good. Are you going to teach me quickly then? No, we need a fast mode of transport. And then there's the small matter of the Border Watch. Their longbows can take out a fly's eye at 400 metres, and they will shoot if said fly should dare to set foot in or leave the woodland realm without permission. You don't by any chance know the password that the Border Watch use? Typical.
What's the
That's
better?
exactly the problem. Mother chooses a new password every single day, and there's no way I'll get it out of her. Oh, why don't you know the password? You normally know everything. Hey, know-it-all. Mother's mirror. It knows more than you. It must know the password. If we work as a team, we should be able to cast a little light on the matter cheap. After all, if it is a curse, then I'm the victim, not the perpetrator. Well, yes, I know that. She'll blame us whatever happens. But it's best for us to have some answers rather than just presenting her the facts, don't you think? Transport and the password. Let's go.
Let's go.
What's the bet the password is cheap?
Like the Super Ted password is like, I think I'll say my magic word now, Spotty. Alright, so I think we need some more water.
You wouldn't have seen the MacGruber TV show?
Nah.
There's a bit where he's there's this super secret weapon, so he's hidden it so that no one can get to it. But he's got to retrieve it, so he goes to this like abandoned thing, and behind it there's this metal like a shack, and inside there's this like vault. As he gets to it, there's a little passcode, and when he gets to the passcode, it's like a numeric password, and he goes 69696969, which by itself wouldn't be funny, but then the doors open and he goes in, and there's another even more secure vault. There's a little passcode, and he goes 69696969, and it opens, and he keeps, and it's like a Get Smart thing. It's like a more secure, gets in, and then it's his safe, and the safe has a little dump pad 69696969. It's the same password for everything.
That's not bad.
Because it can't help be dirty.
Oh, I thought that was guaranteed to be it.
Empty. There appears to be an amazing collection of stuff accumulated in the little pond. I wonder if there's anything there that could prove useful.
It wouldn't be this, surely.
The worms provide a great lure and should increase my fishing success rate, whatever that is. I always hang one onto the hook before I cast the line out.
You going for the chicken, or do we just need the water?
I just need the water more than anything.
I need that jug. We got that jug now.
Yeah, it's empty though. And I tried using it in the water and it didn't do anything.
Oh, I didn't.
A classic.
Use it with falling water? The waterfall?
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Oh yeah, good idea. Nice. Well, first we can give some to Cheap's thing here, and then we'll put some in the pensive as well.
Right then, fresh water for the bird bath. If I do succeed in escaping, it'll be a while before Cheap is able to bathe in his basin again. Do I have the right to drag him into this? He should really have the choice of returning as soon as I escape.
Yeah, can't trust a fucking narc with us.
Cheap the narc.
That's what I thought when she apologized. Except that she continued talking so no one interrupted, but I want to say, yeah, we wouldn't have had to trap him in the thing if he wasn't a fucking narc.
It's weird that the willow still has some...
That's a weeping willow. It appears to be so content. The willow is stretching its branches up high into the sky with glee. One part of the waterfall's already lying in its shadow. If it continues to grow like that, it'll shade half the garden.
It feels like a clue, but maybe not. I wonder if we can fish from this side. Nope, I guess not. The amount of boots.
A classic.
Yeah. Oh, so this looks like a combined item. Interesting. So's this. Because not all of them... Oh no, they all have that. Okay, my bad.
Why not? Perhaps I'm in luck. It works. One of the symbols is glowing.
Okay.
An all-knowing mirror. In the current situation, that would be more than useful. The only question is how to cast a spell over the mirror. I've never done that before. There are 3 symbols on the bottom of the bowl. I wonder what they mean. They're the same ones as the columns in the throne room.
Okay.
Each symbol depicts a droplet. Sometimes there's a line underneath it, sometimes above, and here is a circle going through the droplet. Haven't got a clue what they mean. I have seen these symbols once before, up in the throne room if I'm not mistaken.
Sure, but can we get to the throne room? Because that's... She was a little bit nervous about her mum. Let's have a look.
What do we need to look at stuff in the library?
That'll be my next guess, yeah.
Nothing for it. Have to talk to Pa.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Ivo, I thought that we'd agreed that you would stay in your room.
Oh, do we just say that we're preggers?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's
she
up to
wants
you.
us to get slimmer.
I just left my room to do a bit of training.
Mm-hmm.
You said yourself I've put on a few pounds, and I'm not going to get rid of them by lying around on my bed all day.
Where does this sudden insight come from?
I can't keep asking myself what to do with my life. Perhaps marriage isn't such a bad idea.
It most certainly isn't. And if you train diligently, I'm sure Prince Lalilos will like you a lot.
Of course. Fine.
I would love to help you, but I'm most dreadfully busy. A kind of epidemic seems to have broken out in Seastone.
An epidemic in Seastone?
It's strange. We're getting reports from the whole of the Middle Kingdom. Objects and beings have been changed.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
The situation isn't clear. It appears as if some kind of terrible power is gradually moving through the whole land, changing it. Do you remember the story of the Nothing? A big blackness that gradually swallowed the fairy kingdom bit by bit.
Of course.
This time it is much worse. It is pink.
An epidemic
fish in
in
the phone room?
Seastone. Is it wise for me and it to go there? On the other hand, Wilbur and the Archmajor in Seastone. Perhaps I can help them to fight the epidemic in exchange for them helping me with my problem.
Okay, good
Right, so the
idea.
columns have symbols.
Well,
I
maybe we'll
can't
look
see
at them
them.
first. There's symbols.
This symbol's on the bottom of the mirror bowl in the garden. No idea what it means. That's Mother's area of expertise.
Okay.
This symbol's on the bottom of the mirror bowl. This symbol's on the bottom.
And this one's same thing, no doubt.
This symbol's on the bottom.
Is this Dad? It is. Alright. Let's try fish. Oh, it doesn't look like we can. Oh well. We're gonna have to wake Dad with the Vuvuzela. Oh, hang on. Look at the moon well.
Only priestesses are allowed to get water from the well. Up to now, my mother hasn't tried to make me into a priestess. If I'm lucky, she never will.
Okay, looks like we can't. Alright, let's talk to Dad.
Pa doesn't like getting up early. He always says he needs lots of sleep, but he's never said why.
Yo, Pa!
Hey, Pa, the day started ages ago.
What? Oh, Ivo, how's my favourite daughter?
He looks like
I'm
Radagast the
your
Brown.
only daughter.
Oh, that I had 100. You are and will remain something very special. The other 99 will be as well, though.
Pa, you're nuts.
What about his nuts?
Isn't it a wonderful day today? Again.
Just as the caterpillars cough in the morning dew. Yet, something seems to be troubling you.
She locked me up like a small child.
Have you argued again?
She started it.
She loves you.
And she only wants the best for me. How can it be best for me if she constantly criticises me and forces me to do things that I don't want to do?
She believes that this will help prepare you for the life that awaits you.
I'd just like to decide for myself.
I know. Your mother just doesn't understand that because she never had that choice.
I know that it's a different type of game, but it's actually refreshing to play a game that isn't buggy like Chinatown was. Let's do it.
I need to tell you something, Father, but I'm not sure how.
You shouldn't worry too much. It's not good for the baby.
You know.
Has a zebra got stripes?
How can it have happened? Why?
I don't know. Is that important?
It is. I want to know what's happened to me.
Then look for the answers, my little bud.
How can you be so calm about it?
Because I know that everything will be fine in the end.
And if it isn't fine?
Then it is not the end.
Huh.
Enlighten me, Father.
Evil-smelling murlocs, loved by me like very little else, are a wonderful sight.
I'll need to have a think about that. Pa, would you have used the artifact of divine fate, or would you have hidden it like we did?
I think that too much power can corrupt any one of us.
But you have great powers, and you've never used them for evil.
I could have cured diseased woodlands with the artifact, cleaned rivers in the air. And then what? Then I might have chased away the lumberjacks and destroyed the factories of the dwarves.
But I could have helped a lot of humans.
Things take time, Ivo. If you force change before its time has come, then it won't last.
If you don't know what the pregnancy's all about, then I'll have to travel to Seastone and ask the Archmage.
The fact that I don't know means that you did not get pregnant by natural means. And if something does not conform to the laws of nature, then it must be magic. No one knows more about these things than Alistair.
We agree then.
Like snails munching cabbage. Only your mother isn't going to permit it.
You're the king, father.
I know, but I'll work on that.
Okay.
Enlighten me, father.
The striped kakadu and the limping squirrel, deep in prayer, are amongst the greatest wonders of the world.
I'll need to have a think about that. Mother wants me to marry this Prince Lalilos.
I did hear about that.
Is that your wish too?
No, my dear, he's a
All I
bellish.
wish for is for you to be happy.
Haha, so I'm not going to marry him.
Unfortunately, not all wishes are granted.
Oh,
You are an elf princess. You will need to marry sooner or later. It's just when and who. I'd rather just leave that to Mother Nature.
I wish you could convince Mother of that.
I fear her faith in your taste of men has been shaken a little since... Well, you know. She wants to prevent your heart being broken again. That's why she is choosing someone that she thinks is right for you.
Doesn't Mother's way of doing things drive you a bit mad?
Naturally.
Then why don't you tell her?
Does the GNU talk of spring when the shadows are tickling the squirrel?
What?
I love her. It's just a phase. She'll change. And if she doesn't change, then I will not love her any less. I love you both as you are, warts and all.
I've got quite a lot to think
Okay.
about.
Goodbye, little daughter.
See you later, Father.
We're gonna have to talk to Mumsy, I think.
I can blame Mother for a lot of things, but not laziness. On the contrary, she does the same work as 3 people put together, because she doesn't trust anyone to do it as well. Mother?
Yes, Ivadora.
Ivadora?
Those symbols on the columns, what do they mean?
First your
Beautiful
insights
name.
concerning your wedding, and now an interest in the spiritual. You do surprise me. The 3 symbols depict the 3 different forms that water takes. They are important in many rituals. Water that falls from the sky.
Water that's under
Water
the
that
ground.
springs from the earth. And water that is bathed by moonlight.
Oh.
It's not another type.
I could get the first 2, but that one's a little bit... I was thinking this would be ripples, like... Yeah, I don't know.
What's all this different forms of water all about then?
Not all water is the same.
Because you could have rainwater that then gets
If
bathed
it
in
bubbles out
moonlight.
of a spring,
Is it them
then it is
both?
spring water. Then it turns into stream water, perhaps into river water, and then sometimes later into sea water. The voice of water changes, its soul.
And if different forms of water are mixed together,
Then you can create
before
water
she
with
said
powerful magical properties.
Water for falls on
But
sky. I was
it's not
thinking
as
water,
easy as you might
liquid,
imagine.
gas,
Water is constantly changing
and
its
solid.
form. Rain is water from the sky, but as soon as it lands in a puddle, then it becomes common puddle water.
do you really think that I look fat?
You aren't really fat, my darling, but you aren't perfect either.
Jesus.
Do I have to be perfect?
No one is perfect, but that doesn't stop us striving for it. Once you are happy with yourself, then you become overindulgent. Dissatisfaction can take you far, my darling.
Why do you want me to marry this particular prince?
Because I think that will be best for you.
And if I don't like him?
Then you will learn to love him.
Okay.
Why can't I fall in love first and then marry?
And what happens if you don't fall in love? You won't ever marry then? Don't be childish, Ivadora.
When you married father, how long had you known each other?
Just a few days. I fell in love with him instantly. He was the wisest and most handsome elf that I had ever met.
And if you hadn't loved him, or if perhaps you hadn't even liked him?
Then I would have married him anyway. It is the duty of the princess
Arranged
to
marriages are
secure royal
stupid.
succession.
Whether she wants it or not?
You didn't want to go to school either. Today you can play music, paint, speak a dozen different languages, and have realized what a gift education is. Please, just trust me. Sometimes only parents know what's best.
Do you know what can be done to fight the epidemic in Seastone?
Done? Nothing, my darling. It's a matter for humans. We will only observe.
How hard would it be for us to actually help solve a problem for once, instead of waiting for it to solve itself?
If Alistair needs my advice, he can ask me, and up to now he has not done that.
But...
I'm not going to interfere.
That stuff in the moonwell, that's water bathed by moonlight, isn't it?
Of course it is, my darling.
Could I take some of it?
It is holy water.
I
We
see what
only
we're gonna
use
do.
it for special occasions. What do you need it for?
I need
But
it for a
then-
potion. It's one of the most important ingredients.
Really? What sort of potion?
Yeah, she wants us to be beautiful, so...
Well, the moon waters are particularly pure and clean water. I thought that it could form the basis of a beauty potion.
It is true that this water is purported to
Yeah.
have healing powers.
I didn't want to trouble you with this, but then I thought, if I'm meant to be looking my best for the prince, then such a potion wouldn't do any harm.
Oh, absolutely. Do you have a vessel? May the Moonwell water give you the help you need to become more beautiful, just
Oh,
as it
mother.
has always helped me.
So we're gonna get the 3 types, I guess.
But then, like the tree said, they don't have rainfall in the
Yeah.
in this area.
See you later, Mother.
Don't pull a face like a wilted willow, Ivo. Smile.
You look pretty when you smile. Is that right, Mother? Okay. Well, what does this water count as? I guess it's underground water.
I know, because there's no definition where it comes from.
Unless...
Let's put the special one there just to get the first one out.
Right. Now water that has been bathed in moonshine. That must mean the water that's come from the moonwell.
Yep.
Aha! That's got the second symbol to glow.
Okay. This is a silly adventure game logic, but what if we get the water from the bird bath now because birds fly, it comes from the sky. Yeah, I think that's No, we can't even use that anymore. All right, let's.
So I've used the wild water.
Yeah,
So do you know which one it is anyway? Like, is that spring? Is that supposed to be spring water?
we'll have a look.
Water that's fallen from the sky. Water that's been bathed by moonshine.
Okay,
2 symbols are glowing. Only one to go.
so we need underground water now. Spring
Yeah.
water. Where would that be? Oh, upstairs. I think they mentioned that it was spring water, the freshest spring water from the jug. But that's where it was.
So it's stuff we used in the potion.
Yeah.
Can you order another one?
Oh, here. What about this? Is this one?
Oh, she can now walk between the thing.
Yeah. Don't know if we can order. Hang on. Why can we talk? Oh, it's cheap.
Yeah, but if we've used the water though,
Hey, Cheap.
it was originally in there.
Oh, here we go.
This sex that you spoke about, what is it and why should I not have it? I know that I'm an elf princess. That's exactly the reason I should have something like this. Perhaps even two.
Wow. 2 sexes.
Oh, I will find out what you're trying to hide from me. I've got sunflower seeds. Want one? I can imagine the whole experience has made you hungry. We will get through this together, right?
It wouldn't think that the flat water is spring water now that it's landed, right? Because remember how the mother said that once the water falls, it becomes pond water?
Yeah, but then that's pond water. It's not any of the definitions.
Think, Cheap. How can we both get to Seastone without me having to grow wings? You've got an idea?
Okay. Cheap, where have you gone? Oh no. The travel brochure?
A flight magazine? You've taken out a subscription to a flight magazine? Yeah, all right. Page 15. Hippogriff stud Aculeus in the Blue Mountains. The best battle and hunting hippogriffs in Avantasia. A hippogriff? That could carry me. Not a bad idea, Cheap. But the Blue Mountains aren't close. And just look at the price. A pot of gold. Now, where are we meant to get that from? Yes, I think you're right. We'll have to think of something.
Okay.
I'm really sorry about that business with the musical box, Cheap, but I had to find out what was wrong with me. Are we friends again? Good. Do you think I could play the princess card and ask the stud to loan us a hippogriff? That'd cost a lot less than a pot of gold. Yeah, you're right. They'd blab to everyone. Bad idea if I want to travel incognito. Do you think I could play the princess? Yeah, you're... Sometimes I wish I'd kept the artifact of divine fate. Well, an object that would make every wish come true. It'd be very handy right now. Yes, I know, too much power for one person. That's why Archmage Alistair and I made arrangements.
Okay.
I'll be back soon, Cheap.
You'd be weird. There's a leprechaun hat. Maybe the medicine book.
I was wondering if that's going to be the pot of gold
Well,
thing.
what's up?
Oh yeah, Oh, it didn't highlight though. I don't think.
You were interrupted just now when you were going to tell me about sex.
Indeed, someone is of the opinion that a princess does not need to know about such things.
Oh, come on, tell me.
I could tell you a lot about it, but it would be unwise for me to annoy your parents. They could burn me, or even worse, give me to a public library.
How do elf pregnancies progress?
They are very similar to human pregnancies, only they take a lot longer,
wow.
about 4 years. You are presumably in the 6th month.
And if I go into the world of humans to talk to the Archmage, well, time in the human world passes quicker.
Then your pregnancy will go faster, that's for certain.
Wow.
The consequences are difficult to predict. I am not aware of an elf ever having a child outside of the woodland realm.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. If everything goes to plan, then I'll be back in a couple of days and we'll know what's happened.
That would be advisable. Pregnancy can play havoc with the body and mind. It does not take a lot of imagination to work out what a turbo pregnancy in the human world would do to an elf.
Turbo
Thank
pregnancy.
you for your help.
That's what I'm here for.
Right.
A classic.
Classic. Maybe our little tree friend might know. Oh, unless... no, his little bird bath is now done as well. Okay.
So the spring water we could have used, we've basically used on the potion, right?
Yeah, but we had to as well.
Yeah. Is there any other way to get an elf to
You're
fill it
having a
up
good
again?
time, I see.
What can I do for you?
I just need to borrow your spade a moment. Is that okay?
Of course.
Unless we
Absence
dig.
makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
You shouldn't smoke.
Why not?
It's not healthy.
No lungs, no problems.
Don't you think it's a bit weird and warped to smoke yourself?
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible. Don't tell no one, no.
Arbor, I'm going to have to leave the elf burrow for a few days.
Your mother giving you permission?
Not as such.
Oh, she not gonna like that. But one has to do what one has to do. I wish you a good journey.
Oh, thank you, Arbor. And don't tell anyone I told you.
Oh, he wouldn't dream of it. Just don't you go staying away too long now. You know time out there runs much quicker than here in the woodland realm.
Of course. In the outside world, we elves age like humans. That's why most elves avoid it like the plague.
Quite right.
What about in the vase, maybe?
Tell me, you know a bit about nature, don't you? How does this childbearing stuff work exactly?
Oh, don't know. Ask myself the same question. The bees pollinate the flowers. The flower seeds are carried away by the wind and new plants grow. Very simple and easy, that. But elves, humans and dwarves don't produce nectar. What have you got to offer the bees?
Yeah, and also our children don't grow in the earth. They grow in us.
I know. Isn't it absurd?
I need a special sort of water, Arbor.
Excellent.
Can you help me?
A special sort of water? Now, who's been dreaming that stuff up then?
Arbor, please help. I need water that spills out of the ground.
There, the waterfall. As much water as you want.
Oh, it's not that simple. That water's changed. I need water directly out of the earth.
You elves always like to make things complicated, don't you? You got a container?
Yep.
There you go.
What did you just do?
And don't start telling me that this is some kind of snot water or the like. This be tip-top quality groundwater.
Right.
Should work. Thank you. If I happen to need a pot of gold and you happen to have one, would you be happy to lend it to me?
Or if I be the Sultan of the Three Deserts and you had juicy grapes, would you feed me?
Okay, seriously, do you have a pot of gold?
Just like you have grapes and be the Sultan.
I have to get on. Don't work too hard.
That I won't.
All right.
Let's hope that Arbor's donation of water that spills from the earth will work. It hasn't really spilled from the earth, but it is groundwater, and it's never seen the sun. Now all the symbols are glowing.
Yahoo!
Hello? Are you there?
I'm always there.
I cast a spell over you single-handedly with no help.
You had help, you just didn't realise it.
No, I did it by myself.
I'm the all-knowing seer. I'm telling you, you are wrong.
Yeah, the tree helped us get one of them, and the mother
Really all
helped us
know.
get the other.
No, but it sounds better than I am the seer who saw more than any other being in the world and yet didn't see all.
I did summon you, but I don't really know anything about you. Do you live in the water, or are you the water?
No, the water is just a reflective surface. I live on the other side of the mirrors. I see what happens in front of mirrors. To you, they are simple reflections. To me, they are the window through which I view your world.
Okay. So you live on the other side of all mirrors. Does that include the one in my bedroom?
Hello.
I can look through any reflective surface. I see all.
You do close your eyes, when it's the decent thing to do, right?
I see all.
Yes, understood. But if someone's undressing in front of their mirror or doing embarrassing things that no one else should see, you do look away, right?
I can see into the furthest reaches of the world. I see the good and the bad, the beautiful and the abominable.
You saw me giving an imaginary harp concert in front of my mirror.
I count that amongst the abominable.
I thought she was going to say another H word, and I'm not being dirty, I legitimately.
And Mother and others summon you to ask your advice.
I wouldn't exactly describe it as asking. They know how to reach me via one of the mirrors. They want me to give them information, and if I don't answer, they just stand there and stare at me.
So you help them.
That is the question, is it not? Do I have an interest in supporting either one or the other side, or would I rather watch a catastrophe unfold?
So you'd pour oil onto the fire just because you want to watch the flames?
I could, but mostly I restrict myself to watching. I love to see how things develop. I can't abide when things come to a standstill. That's when I'm always tempted to give someone a shove in the right direction.
So she'll be happy with helping us.
There's talk of an epidemic in Seastone which is spreading. Do you know anything about it?
It is not an epidemic.
What is it then?
It's something that you'll get involved with.
Can you see into the future?
Stories repeat themselves. Other places, other participants, but the course remains the same. Good fights evil.
Why am I pregnant?
You are pregnant?
Should you not know that? You being the nearly all-knowing oracle.
I didn't see that. When did you get pregnant?
I'm asking you.
Stupid romance. A woodland glade, a bed in the cornfield, not a mirror in sight. Couldn't you and Nate have done that somewhere else?
Done what?
Oh, yes. Nothing at all, Princess.
She is a field bag.
I need today's password for the Woodland Realm Border Watch. Do you know it?
Of course. Your mother told the commander of the guards when she was standing next to the mirror surface of the moon well.
Can I have it?
Absolutely. I want to see how this develops. And there
Yay.
are quite a few surprises awaiting you in Seastone.
Which, of course, you're not going to tell me about.
They wouldn't be surprises if I told you about them.
By any chance, is the password melon?
How do you know that?
Stories repeat themselves. Do you not know that? Thanks for that
What are the Rings
unsettling
reference?
conversation. I have to go.
Yes, you must. But we will see each other again soon.
You mean to say you will see me and follow my every move?
Yes, but I didn't mean that. You will seek me out before this story ends.
Really?
Yes, you will want to help a friend in need and won't know how to. That's when you will seek and find me.
I wonder if that's
Where will I find you?
the dead
In
mirror.
a flying town, in a house with no corners. Till then, Princess Ivo of the Woodland Realm.
But, oh,
Lovely, lovely. I'm gonna try. No, not yet. Alright, well, I reckon that might be a really good place to call it. We've been streaming for 2.5 hours now. Let me see if I can save it. Here we go. First save. Luckily, nothing crashed. Yahoo! Did that save? It did. Awesome. Well, let us see who is online and we'll send a cheeky raid over to them. Let's see if anyone is playing the first one. What's this game called again? Book of Unwritten Tales. There is no one playing it. Alright, well, let's maybe just send a raid across to Old Robot Spacer, who is finishing up his game, I believe. He's very close to the end of it. As in, like, programming the game and developing the game. There we go. As always, ensure that you do something fantastic on your weekend. Eat pizza, eat burgers, something lovely. A bit of a change from the week. I'm really excited to see more of where this game goes. It's been really fun so far. I love the writing and it's yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's liking it so far.
Yeah. Alrighty, send you guys across now. Have a fantastic weekend. Until next time.
See you, everyone.